I'm Lauren Ashley, and I'm a digital marketing online educator. With over 20 plus years in the marketing industry, one of the things I always get from potential clients or people who want just a consultation or a lunch or dinner is that they want to know how to start a business and what mistakes they should avoid. Now, I am about 3 businesses in now. I originally started with a online e-commerce store. With my first e-commerce store, I was an online beauty supplier in which I supplied a plethora of nail polishes, nail art decals, nail supplies, as well as natural hair care products. I learned a lot during those years that I had my company. And then as I expanded my family, I transitioned more into just focusing on the freelancing side of building my marketing business via word of mouth and networking, as well as starting a new initiative in which I'm helping get kids and voters and potential voters the educational tools needed in order to help them make an impact in their communities. So, if you are thinking about starting your own business, here are 5 mistakes that you should avoid. The first mistake you should avoid is taking out loans too early. I know. When you start a business, it's going to be tons of companies that send you different correspondence, or you can look online at different ads that say, hey, you could get a loan for $10,000 easily in order to start up your company, in order to build capital, in order to afford some of the supplies that you need for that company. Now, the good thing about it is that you're able to get funding that's really quick to get in hand via a card, or some people even go the cash route. The downside to that is, unless you have really good stewardship over your finances, you are setting yourself up to be in a storm because you still owe that money back. You still have to pay on it monthly, but also you have to understand that with the money comes a lot of responsibility.
With great power comes great responsibility.
So when you're first starting your business, first you want to think about, what is your budget? What are the supplies that you need? How much do you currently have in order to fulfill that need? What needs to be done now, and what things can wait down the road? So knowing that will definitely set you up for success. Also, with taking out loans, you want to make sure that you have a good tax accountant, or you research the tax codes that apply to you to make sure what is applicable to your business and what is not. Do not believe the internet influencers who try to tell you,
oh, go and get you a G-Wagon. You can put it under your business name.
you can and you can't. There's a way to do that. Certain things are tax deductible. Certain things are considered to be an expense with your business, but you must know exactly how those tax codes work. For me, example, I never bought a vehicle within my business. However, I did know my write-off amounts for such as mileage, or how much I could charge if I go to a business meeting that includes dinner, lunch, breakfast, what have you, as well as travel or anything like that. So it's so important to make sure that you understand that thoroughly. One year I did get audited, and I had all of my paperwork from years prior. I had very beautiful spreadsheets. I had my CPA also, who had his records. And if I did not have all those things in place, I would not have been able to get my money back. So yeah, you want to just definitely keep that in mind, but that's a different story for a different day. Let's move on to number 2. The second mistake you want to avoid is listening to naysayers. So sometimes when you have a good idea, you want to share it with the world. You want to tell your closest friends and family because you're so excited, you just can't keep this news to yourself. But just know that when you have a grand idea, or an idea that's bigger than your environment or circumstances, or anything that will make you stand out from everyone that is around you, there will be doubters, and there will be people who try to talk you out of it, and there will also be people who won't be as excited. But do not let that ping your interest. Do not let it hurt like how you feel about your idea, your business. Let it go in one ear and out the other. True story. I originally told my sister about one of my business ideas years ago, and unbeknownst to her, she talked me out of it, right? She just gave all of her concerns and her fears as to why it can work out, how she can see it. But in the same sentiment, me and my sister are two different people. The way I view entrepreneurship, earning your own income, working for yourself, providing for your family, having peace of mind is different than what her mindset might be. Whereas she loves corporate America for the most part, she loves the benefits that it brings. She might be more willing to work 24/7 in order to reap the beautiful rewards of working in that area. However, for me, I'm like a start and stop type gal. I gotta have work-life balance. I don't want to do all of that. Like, I'm willing to work harder to get more money, but not work harder in a sense of I'm running myself into the ground. So you just, again, ignore the naysayers. Take only the positive. If it's criticism, of course, if it's something that you should keep in mind, maybe it might give you a different point of view or outlook of how you should approach your business. But definitely anything that does not make you feel good about that dream or idea, in one ear and out the other. The third mistake you should avoid when starting your own business: quitting your job too soon. So a lot of people just don't like where they work. I was one of those people. Like, I couldn't stand my 9 to 5. I felt like it was unnecessary drama, too much of stress. I just had to get out of there, right, as quick as possible. But also in the same sense, you have to think about what that job brings to your life. Yes, you might hate it. The people might suck. It might be terribly stressful. However, it is just a means to an end. So once you change that mindset and that perspective, and you think about the positive that you can take from any given situation, you flesh out the negative, then you're able to see more clearly. Yes, I still don't like being here. However, I understand I get paid X amount of dollars. That money can now not only pay for my current lifestyle, like my bills, my family, whatever, but I can also use that excess and fund my business. So for example, I had an e-commerce store. I used my income from my full-time job in order to fund that store. I also, now before you go out and start buying stuff like based on that paycheck, one of the things that I did keep in mind is making a spreadsheet of all of the products that I want to have in that store. Then I priced out how much they would cost me in order to get them from suppliers, and then how much the markup would have to be for those. And then at the bottom of the spreadsheet, of course, it totals. And then I even broke it out to how much I plan to sell monthly and yearly. What is my 2-year goals, my 5-year goals, etc. And that way, when you have a plan, like an actionable plan or something that you can see on paper, you're more strategic in the things that you do and the way that you spend that money that's going out, so that you never want to put yourself in a terrible financial situation to where you can't make the ends meet if you are in a position in order to earn the income to pay for the things that are your needs, including some of your wants. Okay guys, so I was going so fast that I forgot to include number 4. So let's jump right in. You want to avoid not having a strategy. It's very important to understand or know when you're going to work, how you're going to work, and what the end goal is. When you're a business owner, there are a lot of different factors that will affect you on a regular basis. Whether it's something not working out, someone didn't come through, something didn't pan out as you had thought it up in your head. And it's totally understandable, and it's life. It happens. But when those situations or circumstances occur, it's important to have a strategy so that you can go back to the drawing board and you can go back to that plan of action and you know exactly what it is that you need to do. When you don't have a strategy in place, you'll allow all these outside factors to cloud your brain and your thinking, and it knocks you off your game. And then sometimes it can cause you to be stagnant, in which you don't know which way to go, the next direction, or it might even cause you to not be as successful as planned because it's not aligned with your business goals overall. So always have a strategy in place. Now let's move on to mistake number 5. The 5th mistake to avoid when starting your own business: not having clarity around what you're doing and who you're doing it for. A lot of times I see people just want to get into an industry or a type of business because they saw someone else first be very successful at it. It's good to look at others for aspiration or inspiration. However, you also have to understand that you never know someone's full story about how they got to where they got. You never know if they're actually bringing in that money. Some people might say,
Oh, well, they showed a screenshot of, their revenue and income.
yeah, but I also know that people fabricate graphics all the time. I do also know that you can take a screenshot out of a PayPal or a Shopify, what have you, and you can mock up a screenshot to imply what you want it to show. So don't always be fooled by what you see, but more so create your business based on your passion. If you're good at crafting, think about starting a crafting business. If you're good at doing hair and you work in a salon, you might want to eventually think about what does it take to have my own salon, manage my own booth renters or other stylists who are under me, things of that nature. If you're an artist, you might want to think about how can I sell my art and which channels and how to do it. When you are focused with your passion and the thing that you really love how to do, the money will come. But first, you have to get your mindset right. You have to make sure that you have all of your ducks in a row. You have to make sure that you really understand what the plan is, what the goal is, and what you hope to accomplish. So based on these 5 mistakes to avoid, I hope I have helped you solidify your route of how you're going to create your business. If you found this information helpful, please make sure that you subscribe and also follow me on some of my other social media channels. I would love to connect with you and also hear from you. So talk to you soon. Bye.